Hi guys, today I'll be showing you how to solve a system of equations. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys in advance, this only works for a system of equations if they have two equations. Only for two, not for three. So first we'll write out our two equations. We've got, so first you always want to label your equations with 1 or 2. So I'll just label the first one 1, and we'll just say 4x plus 2y equals 6. And then for the other one, we label this one 2. 4x plus 3y equals 7. Now this might be pretty easy for you guys to solve, but this is just how to solve it. So this is the first case. There are 3 cases when you're solving a system of equations, and there are 2 ways to do those. So I want to show you the elimination method, which is subtracting or adding the equations together. So right now what we want to do is get rid of one variable to just keep one variable, the other variable, and have a number like 6 or 7, one of those. So we'll subtract 1 from 2, or 2 from 1. So we'll just say 1 minus 2, because that's what we're doing. Just put a colon after that or whatever. So I subtract those, so 4x minus 4x is 0, which you can just put 0 there, because there's nothing there. Then we want to subtract 2y and 3y, so we have negative y. And then that equals 6 minus 7, or negative 1. So 0 plus negative y is the same as negative y, equaling negative 1. Then you get y equals 1. So now, to solve for x, what you do is you can just put subst for substitution, and then we'll just do equation 1. So now we'll just put in y right there to y in here. So we just substitute the y. So wherever it says y, we put in 1. It's pretty simple. So 4x plus 2 in parentheses 1, because we're multiplying it, equals 6. So then this means that 4x plus 2 equals 6. At this point, it might be pretty easy to figure out, but I'll do it anyways. 4x equals 6 minus 2. This means that 4x equals 4. This means that x equals 1. Now you always want to check your answers. It always helps to do that because you always want to know what's right. So for the first equation, if y is 1 and x is 1, you have 4 plus 2 equals 6. Now keep in mind that I'm just multiplying it right there. So 4x, 4 times 1 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Same thing here, 4 plus 3 is 7. So they both work, which means that y does equal 1, and x does equal 1. So you always just want to make it neater, obviously. So y equals 1, x equals 1. So that's the first case that you'll want to do. Next case is if there are 2 equations. So we'll put 1, 4x plus 2y equals 6, and 2. We'll just say 2x plus 4y equals 6 still. So in this case, let's just say you still want to eliminate x, or even y for that matter. You never want to eliminate these numbers, by the way. It's just not a good idea, because you still want to keep the number. So in this case, neither of them are the same coefficient. I mean, 4 is not the same as 2, and this 2 is not the same as this 4. So what you want to do is that you basically want to make them the same. So if you, just say you want to make x the same, then you're going to want to multiply number 2 here by 2. So you just put 2 times 2. This means you'll get 2x times 2, which is 4x, plus 4y times 2, which is 8y, equals 6 times 2, or 12. So we can just call this one 3. That's the name of the equation. 4x plus 8y equals 12. So that's our new equation. Now we can do 1 minus 3 to isolate y. So 1 minus 3. That equals, well, 4x minus 4x is 0, plus 2y minus 6y, which is negative 6y. That equals 6 minus 12, which is negative 6. So if you have 1 minus, okay, so this means that negative 6y is going to equal negative 6, which means y is going to equal 1. Because when you divide both sides by negative 6, you get 1 on both sides. So then you're just going to want to do the same thing, subst. Then we can just do 1 again. If you're going to do a substitution, you should do it in one of the original equations. It's always better, because if you did screw up on when you did like number 3 here, then it might still work, but it won't be right. So you always want to do it in one of these original equations. So subst 1. This means that, well, when you're checking, not now. So y equals 1, we'll just do 4x plus 2 in parentheses 1 equals 6. This means that 4x plus 2 is going to equal 6. And the 4x is going to equal 6 minus 2. 4x equals 4. X is going to equal 1 after you divide. So now we want to check, as always. So x equals 1, y equals 1. So 4 plus 2 equals 6 when you multiply. And then 2 plus 4 also equals 6. So this is good. Now the next one is a little difficult. It's probably the most difficult of the 3. Let's say you have like 2x plus 7y equals 9 and 5x plus 8y equals 13. See, this is a little more difficult because 2 and 5, they're common. Well, you can't just multiply one to get the other. You can't multiply 2 by anything to get 5 unless you want to go into decimals, which is just going to make it even harder than it has to be. So 1 and 2, as you can see, I've done. So what you want to do is that you want to multiply the first one. You want to find out the LCM, the least common multiple, which you may be common with, which you may be familiar with when you do this with denominators of fractions. So you multiply the first one by 5. This gives you 2x times 5 is 10x, plus 7y times 5, which is 35y, and 9 times 5, which is 45. Now with the second one, we want to multiply by 2 to find the LCM. 2 times 2. Equation 2 times 2. So 5x times 2 is 10x, plus 8y times 2, which is 16y, equals 13 times 2, which is 26. So we'll call the first one that we've come up with, which is 1 times 5, 3. Then and then equation 2 times 2, we're gonna call 4. So now you're gonna want to do 3 minus 4 again, or 4 minus 3, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do 3 minus 4 because it'll be easier to subtract 35 and 16. So 3 minus 4 equals 10x minus 10x is 0, plus 35 minus 16 is 19. So we're going to put 19y equals 45 minus 26, which is also 19. This means that 19y is going to equal 19. Y is therefore going to equal 19 when you divide. Now you're going to want to do subst 1 again. You can really do subst 1 or 2. I just do 1 because, it's the first one. So 2x plus 7 in parentheses 1 equals 9. 2x plus 7 equals 9. 2x equals 9 minus 7. So 2x is going to equal 2. Now you divide both sides and get x equals 1. Now again, you always want to check. This may sound really cheesy, guys, but you always do want to check, especially when you're doing system of equations. This is especially true when we get into absolute values and such. So we want to substitute y equals 1 and x equals 1. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 7 times 1 is 7, equals 9. That is true. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 8 times 1 is 8, equals 13. That is also true. This means that y does equal 1, and x does equal 1. So this is three ways. This is three scenarios that you could run into when doing a system of equation that has two equations. So bye guys, hopefully that was helpful, and be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe. See ya.